Welcome back to Project 94 for another Diecast review, and today we're going to be taking a look at Bill Elliott's 2002 Dodge Viper paint scheme. The number 9 for Ray Evernham Motorsports. This is one of the coolest Bill Elliott diecasts ever made, and so glad to find this car at one of the Charlotte tents today. It is weather's pretty bad, but it did not stop me from noticing this car and getting it. It is a fantastic paint scheme that I kind of recall this paint scheme running at Pocono of 2002. I could be wrong about that. Please let me know in the comments, but man, this car looks fantastic. I mean, it's not even a normal diecast. You guys are going to realize something. There's something funny looking about this car. And it's not an error. This is actually something that they came up with. You guys are probably, well, what is that? This is a Dodge Intrepid. It does say Viper, but this is a Dodge Intrepid. But you guys are going to wonder, what did they do to make this car look like a Viper? We're going to take a look at the front. Bam! That is what makes this car the Viper instead of the Intrepid. You still got the headlights looking sort of like the Intrepid, but look at the eyes. They actually did. They just designed over the OEM details and made unique headlights for this particular paint scheme. It actually has green eyes on this car. Look at that. So this is not your typical Dodge Intrepid. It is now a Dodge Viper. Holy cow. And look at the teeth on this too. They even added teeth to this car. Yeah, good luck designing a car like this in 2023. You're certainly not going to happen. There's no way Ford, Chevy, or Toyota would allow any of the sponsors to even think about changing the headlights or the grille of their cars. So this takes me back to a time, man. They let a lot of things slide, and with this car, it looks like a monster. I mean, look at that thing. It is a Dodge Viper inspired car, so gotta have some sort of snakeified paint scheme, you know what I'm saying? But man, it looks awesome. There is not a lot of paint schemes that are like this, so this is definitely a unique car for sure. I mean, look at that. How awesome is that? So of course you're gonna have the number 9 on the first snake eye, and of course you got Evernham Motorsports on the other snake eye. You got Dodge right in the front, big. Of course, got the grille openings right here. It's a pretty detailed car, so you guys are gonna notice that right off the bat. It's one of the more detailed 124s, metal chassis and stuff like that. So really cool. So you got see your local Dodge dealer, Dodge Viper SRT-10. So yeah, really cool. We got a promotional car for the Viper on the Intrepid body, and then you're gonna go and make it look like a snake. Just such an awesome concept of paint scheme. And this car, to think this actually ran, is just awesome for Bill Elliott. So you got Moog chassis parts, you got Comp Cams, Clevites, Edelbrog 76, and Wix filters. You have Goodyear right there, NASCAR Winston Cup, True Value, Bud, Holly, Ray Bestis, Gatorade, 3M, Goodyear. Of course, you got Mechanics Wear, Jessel, Outback Steakhouse, I think, is on there as well. Got Waste Management, Barnes, Mac Tools, EA Sports, and Infograms. Then, of course, you got number 9 right there. You got Bill Elliott's name. You got Evernham Motorsports, Valvoline, Dodge, and, of course, the little Dodge Ram logo underneath the, what do you call that? The American flag. Of course, you have UAW, Dodge. You got Mopar Parts. Got Viper SRT-10. Of course, you got the Goodyear number 1s, and they does have sticker tires. If you look underneath, there are stickers on those tires. So really cool. We'll look at the chassis and all that when we get done with the paint scheme. So here's the back of it. Still have the Intrepid taillights, but this is a Dodge Viper paint scheme. Got Viper SRT-10. See your local Dodge dealer. Of course, got Dodge right there, Dodge RT, and what's cool about it, it's got the little OEM details. See, like, where the license plate would be at. They got the little body lines to the bumper, and 2D, just printed in white. Kind of cool. Dodge paint schemes have kind of always had, like, small details like that on there. You got the big black spoiler on there. Of course, you got the Evernham and the number 9 on the taillights. You have National Training Center, UAW National Training Center, and of course, no sponsor on the roof, just nothing but a big number 9 on the roof. Really glad Chase Elliott did a throwback to the original number 9, just the plain red one for his father, Bill Elliott. I am a Chase Elliott fan, so this is a cool diecast to have for that. It just looks so cool, that number 9 right there. So here is the paint scheme. So they spray painted it that typical Dodge red, of course. That's the color they spray painted it. And then we're going to look around the car. So before we do that, let's get a look at the numbers. So you got the black outline and the white number fill-in and the iconic sharp Ray Evernham number 9 right there. It looks really, really cool. And I actually got to meet Ray Evernham this year, so if he's watching this video, this is definitely a cool car right here for Bill Elliott. So I'm really glad this car got to run. It just looks, it's just mean, sharp, and it's just a nasty looking. I'm telling you, when you see this car in the rear view mirror, it looks like it's gonna eat your car up, man. If you're running, this thing's running behind you and you see this in your rear view mirror, it's done. This thing is gonna eat you up alive. But yeah, we did look at the eyes, but let's just get a closer look at that, because I can't get over it, how detailed this car is. Look at that. Got like the black eyes right there. Very juicy, mean looking green eyes, man. Just such an awesome, I love this car so much. And it even has like the little nostrils as well, the snake. Got the little fangs, of course. Get a closer look at those. They're wrapped on top of where an Intrepid light decal would be at. Really, really awesome. And of course, the whole paint scheme is pretty much, I know this kind of does look like a Spider-Man paint scheme. When you don't look at the eyes or anything like that, it does look like a Spider-Man paint scheme. But I promise you, man, these are snake scales right here all across the car. So pretty much almost the same pattern throughout. But of course, if you look at the wheel wells on all the sides of the car, kind of wraps all the way around. The scales wrap around the wheel wells. I'm going to try to get the car all the way in the camera. As you can tell, look at that. It actually goes around the fenders, and it's kind of different around the eyes as well. The pattern kind of sort of changes a little bit for certain parts of it. But for the most part, the pattern is pretty much consistent throughout this car. It's the snake scales on top of the dark red, the black snake scales. And the trunk does work on this thing. It does open, so let's get a look in there. It doesn't open up a lot, but you can definitely tell. Got a fuel cell in there, where the fuel would be at. Got some bars. And the hood opens as well. So before we look at that, let's take a look at the not the underbody, the chassis of the car, back when they used to be chassis. So I'm going to try to lift my camera so you guys can see this. There is the bottom of this car. Metal chassis. I think that is a plastic exhaust, gold transmission. It's just such a cool car. And of course, it's got like the drive shaft and all that stuff down here. Really detailed. Once again, the sticker tires. Got the front mount intercooler. Of course. And of course, steering mechanism. That works pretty good. It's put together with screws as well, in case you wanted to notice that. But yeah, just look at that. I love the gold pipes on this thing. They're not just silver. They actually went and they did a color for this. And here is the engine inside of the beast, the animal. Let's get a look at that. Here is the engine, the Dodge-powered Viper inside the beast right there. The brain of the snake. This is the brain right here. And the hood does not stay up. It does kind of close. But you guys are going to be able to open up the hood when you guys pick up any of these cars. This thing just looks fantastic, man. Such a beautiful car. And who knows if we'll ever get a throwback to it, because it won't look right without the snake eyes or the teeth. So hopefully whoever does this throwback in the future will make the eyes green just for that one throwback race, because this would be such a cool car. Just awesome. I like how it has Viper SRT-10, but they're both slanted around the snake. And instead of having like the bull with the little horns, the ram, they put the snake for the Viper. They actually did it for this car, which I really, really like a lot. They did the little ram back here, as you can tell, the ram in the back. But of course, when you look at the hood, it's going to be the snake for the Viper. Dodge Vipers, really awesome cars. And to have a NASCAR paint scheme doing a tribute to that is just really, really cool. This is one of the most fantastic, one of my favorite Evernham diecasts of all time, man. This is really, really a cool diecast. Just the snake pattern all across this car. It's getting close-ups of it. Of course, you have the white Goodyear right there. Get some more close-ups of this beautiful, beautiful car. 5 lug nut wheels. Of course, the red rings with the black rims. They didn't do the red rims for this, but it probably would have been too much red had they done that. I really like the opening features. The roof flaps are closed, but that is all right with me. And here are the interior details. I'm going to try to get in there and see them. Window net, I think, is actually a mesh window net, but we're going to get to that in a second. Here it is. A little bit dirty in there, but not too terrible. Got the little, like, wires and stuff. But yeah, that window net kind of feels weird. Like, it could be rubber and it could be mesh. It just, when I put my finger on this, it does kind of feel like a different kind of material than usual. But yeah, Bill Elliott's right there. Just an awesome car. Black side skirts. I'm pretty sure the side skirts on the other side are also black. Yep, they're black over here too. And it's quite heavy. It's not a light. This is definitely not a cheap car. This thing must have costed a lot back then. I won't disclose the price I paid for this on camera, but I'll tell you this. This car is probably worth a lot more than what I paid for it, because I have not seen this car a lot in people's collections. It seems like one of those cars that could get rare really, really easily if you're not careful about it and you don't pick it up on time. This is definitely one of those cars I see disappearing. So I'm not sure other ways you can get this car. This was the last one in that other tent. I'm not going to tell you what tent it was because I just don't remember what tent I found this at. So if you're at the Charlotte Motor Speedway this weekend and you're looking at those tents and you're wanting to find this car, I have taken the last one. Maybe they'll have this in other tents. Maybe they'll have the 164 of it or a cheaper 124. Yeah, however you think you can find this, definitely try to get it. The 164 I hope to find someday, but man, the 124, this just looks awesome. This is my only version of this. I only have this in the 124. I've never found the 164. So this is definitely a unique car in my collection. And the 124 collection is really, really growing. It has been growing for years, and this is definitely another one. And of course, the grille in the front seem to be metal. These little 4 openings, the iconic 4 grille Dodge design. So if I can get the thing to focus on this car. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dodge style. It just looks fantastic. This is really, and I liked it, the Dodge Intrepid body back then. And to have like a Viperized version of it it's so cool, man. I wish these cars were really creative back in these days. You could really do a lot of cool things, and the fact that they let the OEM of Dodge let this slide for one race, and it was definitely probably their decision, man, because they want to promote their product the way they want to, and they were going to do whatever they wanted to their car, and this looks fantastic. I mean, this car would have probably been bland had they just done the regular Intrepid headlights. It probably would not have looked as good. But with the green eyes on there, man, the green eyes with the fangs in the front, this is definitely the selling point of the car, because it's just different than everything else. This is as one-off gets. Just awesome. I love this car a lot, man, and to have a diecast of it, it truly does mean the world, because I really don't know if I'm ever going to see this car again anywhere else. So that's the reason why I went and I got it when I got it. So really, really cool car, guys. So he has a 360 view of it. This is definitely a car that's going to look good with the 360 view just because of the paint scheme. So here's the front of it right there with the snake face. Here's the hood. Here's the right side of the car. Kind of big for the camera, the 124s are. The right side. Here's the back of the car. Here's the deck lid, which opens as we took a look at before. Here is the roof of the car. Here is the left side. And the chassis of the car, which is metal. Heavy metal. So, yeah. This thing is just one of the coolest diecasts in my collection. I mean, I really like this car a lot. I mean, growing up a fan of like the early 2000 NASCAR cars in general, and to have these awesome, innovative paint schemes like this one is truly special. I mean, this is just a one-off special car. It just truly is. You don't see lots of paint schemes like this one, and I'm definitely gonna go find a spot to display this car and do all that stuff. It's just one of those cars. You just can't stop looking at it because it's just one of the most awesome paint schemes from that era. It truly is, and this is probably the best 2002 you can get for Bill Elliott. I mean, just take a look at the car. I mean, you really don't get paint schemes like this that much anymore. It's just iconic looking. It's just, it looks like a snake. Like, it's a Dodge Viper, so it's gotta look like a snake, right? I mean, you're doing a Viper car. You kind of want to do a lot more than just the red with the white stripes. This is just a fantastic looking car. Really awesome. And yeah, guys, that is going to be it for Bill Elliott's 2002 Dodge Viper paint scheme for Evernham Motorsports. Just a beautiful number 9, and I'm a big Evernham fan. Like, I've always been a Mark Martin fan, but there was always something about Evernham's team that was really captivating, and this is my paint scheme of choice to represent Evernham in the 124s in my collection. This is the paint scheme that I chose personally for that. I don't know if I'm going to get any more of these Evernham cars in the 124. I really don't have a lot of room for any more 124s. So we're going to have to see what happens there. But I think that's all there is to say about this car. Of course, just a fuel cell, no American ethanol, because it's a retro car. So, yeah, guys, that is going to be it for Bill Elliott and his 2002 Viper, the Dodge Viper paint scheme. Tongue twister of a name there. So, really, really cool diecast. And, yeah, we're approaching 75 videos on the channel. So, stay tuned for that 75th video. You're going to want to see that. It's a special video. Got some 2023 cars coming in for review, and this is just, it's almost like an appetizer. I mean, this thing sets it up big time. There's no better paint scheme than this to return to the channel with. It's just really cool. This Dodge Viper car, it's what it is. It's an awesome paint scheme. So I know I kept on going with this, but yeah, guys, thank you all for checking out this diecast review. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next diecast review. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecast.